Okay, I'm speaking and looking that my microphone is off. So I'm gonna inform you that we are gonna record our webinar. So let's start it. Okay. Again, welcome everyone. And today is the third T4T webinar, how we can engage students while teaching environmental topics. Okay, let's share my screen. And okay. I think everyone see my slides. So welcome, and we're going forward. So tools for teaching in digital education settings, as we call it T4T, focuses on supporting adult educators and formal, non-formal, informal training providers to effectively shift towards digital education and to provide the same level of learners, interaction, yes, and human-like experiences as in the physical environment. So this project is coordinated by partners from Spain. The rest of the partners are from Poland, Netherlands, Bulgaria, Greece, and Lithuania. So during this project, we have created guidelines how to better set up effective group dynamics in online learning environment. Resource library also created with helpful resources, how to maintain effective group interactions in online environment. Sorry, is it okay, everything? And next created thing is practical exercises suitable for online learning environment and boosting group dynamics. And the last resort of this project is series of webinars. And today we'll have the opportunity to know how practically exercise can be used and how they are suitable for teaching environmental topics. So let's start from the first one. Okay, we called it Energizer. And this exercise, this activity, we call like sort as fast as you can. And the duration of this activity is about 3 to 10 minutes. It depends actually on size of group. Okay, sorry, someone tells me that my slides aren't working. I'll try to share it again. Okay, I think it's okay now. Okay, about Energizer. Learning objectives about this activity is distract learners, students from more serious tasks and rest their minds. Encourage learners to participate actively in this activity. Encourage learners to try something different. So, for example, we used a platform like Canva, and all is needed for educator is to have internet connection, to have account in Canva, to prepare some sorry, to prepare some sheets maybe, or maybe some pictures. I'm sorry, can we mute? Yes. Have some preparation. Like this example is just trash bins, and another picture is picture of trashes. And active learners, ask learners to connect Canva, shared link, and each learner has to choose the bin and write their names on it in order to avoid chaos. And you as educator have to explain the task, or the task is to sort all rubbishes into appropriate trash cans, for example, per 2 minutes. And whilst after the activity, you can ask some feedback from the students, or make the activity engaging, fun, and education. Use some bullet points. For example, what emotions this game evoked? Do participants want it to be the quickest, or just wish to end it on time? And to discuss about their emotions. Okay. And that's energizer. For few till 10 minutes, you just introduce some theme, some topic about what you're gonna be talking. And now I want you to be some bit active, and would like you to name the reason why we need to sort garbages. Okay, there's an QR code. You can scan it on your phone, or I'll put link in chat. Use the chat to. Okay, I'm seeing that it's not correct putting it. So try to do like this. So please join the Padlet platform and try to answer for me this question: why we need to sort garbage? Your opinion, why it is important to you? Okay, is some problems. I'm just seeing no activity. If you don't use the Padlet platform, you just, when you are on the page, you just have to click plus button and write why it's important to sort garbage. To protect nature from pollution, yes. Help reduce the amount of trash that needs processing, yes. And yes, it's have to be said that there's no wrong or right answers. Yes, all answers is correct. Every one of us have their own opinion, their own set of view. Healthy living, protect environment, healthy living, yes. all the answers are great, and with all answers we are agreed. And this is example how we can communicate with our learners, with our students, to make the presentation, the environmental topic more online, yes, to hear the thoughts, the minds of everyone. So thank you for your answers. It was great to read it. Thank you for those who answered that. And let be more online. Okay, just I prepared for you one movie. I would like you to listen it, to view, and discuss about.
Stuff you put in the recycling bin. I've always been curious, so I decided to collect the recycling from our office and bring it to a recycling plant to find out. Follow me, we're going to find out the life of our recyclables as they go to a recycling plant. When I got to Sims Recycling Plant in Brooklyn, I found a huge warehouse where 800 tons of recyclables from all over New York are dropped off by barge and truck every day. The plant was built in 2013 and it is state-of-the-art. It handles materials like metals, glass, and hard plastics. And after those materials are dropped off, they're sorted.
So we take all of those unsorted recyclables and we're pushing it through our processing system, which is almost all automatic. It's about 2.5 miles worth of conveyor belts, magnets, cameras, all sorts of other machines dedicated to just sorting out different materials.
The sorting machine is very high tech and sorts 14 kinds of materials, like glass, aluminum, cartons, and different types of plastic. Once enough of a material is collected, it's compressed into a 1,000 to 1,500 pound block called a bale. After the bales are sorted, they're sold to third-party companies. For example, a bale of aluminum might sell for $800. Buyers then take that raw material, clean and process it, and turn it into something new. This process saves way more energy than mining for virgin materials. With the same amount of energy that it takes to make 1 can of new aluminum, you can make 20 cans from recycled aluminum. And using 1 ton of recycled plastic saves 16 barrels of oil.
You have to think about all this stuff as coming from the earth, right? There's natural resources, oil, and all these plastics. And once you put it in the trash, it's going to a landfill or it's going to an incinerator. You're never going to use that material again. So it's super important we've got limited resources on this planet to use these kinds of materials as much as we can in the best way as possible.
Despite the great setup at Sims, there are a lot of issues with recycling. First of all, Americans kind of suck at it. According to the EPA, about 75% of all of our waste is actually recyclable, yet our recycling rates hang around 34% nationally. That basically means that only 1/3 of every single thing we use and throw out every day is making it to the recycling bin. And don't get me started with New Yorkers. We only recycle 17% of our waste.
This is a garbage can right outside our office. You can see there's paper and there's some cans in there, cups. All of these things are recyclable. And they're in the trash right when there's a recycling bin right next door.
Only about 50% of recyclables in New York City are getting recycled right now. And I think that's largely a result of maybe a lack of public education, the fact that the rules have changed over time. Maybe some people just don't care enough or don't know why they should care. And I think all of those kind of issues can really be addressed through education.
For their part, Sims offers daily educational tours of their plant in an effort to boost our low recycling rates. Low rates aren't the only issue, though. Sam also told me about another problem called wish cycling. That's when people put trash into the recycling bin, hoping it can be recycled, when in fact it cannot.
I would say it's about 10 to 13% of what we get is not something we want to receive. Those kinds of materials are maybe extra plastic bags, plastic film, maybe little bits of food scraps mixed in with those containers.
Wish cycling wastes a lot of energy and fuel because items are shipped to a plant like Sims, sorted, and then eventually just sent to the dump. I wanted to see if my coworkers and I were guilty of any wish cycling, so I convinced Sam to go through our bag with me. We're not wearing gloves because, is that okay with you?
Yeah, we do this every day.
Okay. By looking through our bag, I learned we made some mistakes, like putting paper towels in the recycling bin. they're actually compostable. He also told me important tips, like cutting down on plastic straws.
A lot of sort of single-use disposables that are really small, it's better to use less of these than to even try to recycle them, because a lot of small plastics sort of fall through the cracks in the system.
Reduce.
Exactly.
Sam told me that another huge misconception about recycling are plastic bags.
We get about 18 tons of plastic bags here every single day. Ideally, we would be getting nothing.
Plastic bags are a low-quality kind of plastic, which makes them really hard to resell. For example, in Sim's case, they actually have to pay another company to come to pick up the bags and recycle them elsewhere. On top of that, the bags get stuck in the machine and can break it. So, if you want to recycle your plastic shopping bags, go to a plastic drop-off at a retailer like Whole Foods. Or better yet, skip the plastic bags altogether and bring a reusable bag. It's important to note that every city is different, so look up what your city's recycling plant accepts. Sim's is one of the most inclusive recycling plants on the East Coast, and it accepts more materials than many recycling plants. But Sam told me to abide by the general rule. If it's a hard plastic, put it in the recycling bin. Seeing the 800 tons of recyclables at Sim's was insane, but that's nothing compared to the 12,000 tons of trash residents of New York City throw out every day. I know seeing that made me more conscious of what I use every day, and it inspired me to cut down on single-use plastics. But let's be real, plastic is still part of our everyday lives, and it's hard to avoid it completely. However, I've realized we can have a say in where it ends up, and while we're at it, help our environment and create a more sustainable future.
Okay, thank you for watching. I think you had some, I'm sorry. Okay, just cut it off. I think you had some interesting, some new things, maybe just to repeat some information you had heard some day ago. So it is interesting that all this videos and pictures from internet you can use working with students, with learners, to illustrate all your topics and to make them more online, more virtual, more attractive to the students. Also, on this examples we made, there are some tips for further reading that you can take as teacher to read some information about waste sorting importance, or how to sorting waste at our home, or you can give this articles to the students, to the learners, that they can prepare some, for example, some presentations about that. So talking about environmental topics, I have prepared for you some ideas how can we engage students to know more, to be more active in environmental topics. So the idea, first of all, is use real-world examples, such as climate change, plastic pollution, deforestation, air pollution, food waste. Okay, by incorporating real-world examples, students can see how environmental issues affect their daily lives and how they can make a positive impact in their community. Other idea is to show them hand-on activities such as gardening, composting, recycling, nature walkings, upcycling, yeah, and by engaging students in hand-on activities, you as a teacher can help students to learn about environmental issues in a fun, interactive way. and develop practical skills that they can use to make a positive impact in their communities, in their homes. Okay, another one idea would be multimedia resources. As we saw on the video previously, yes, you can use videos, you can use images, interactive simulations, for example, online games, podcasts, I guess, and by using multimedia resources, teachers, you can make learning about environmental topics more interactive, more engaging, and help students visualize the complex concepts in a way that is easier to understand for them. Also, one of interesting ideas is game and quizzes, and some quizzes like Kahoot or Echo challenges. You can create your own or find some ideas in the internet to help students involved in environmental action, and challenges such as reducing plastic use at home, okay, to count how many and so on. Also, you can play the game like Eco Bingo to find some marks of items. Yes, by using this method, this idea, you can make learning about the environmental more interactive, more engaging, and help students retain the information in a fun, memorable way, maybe. Yes. Other idea is field trips, to take students to national parks, local farms, beaches, nature centers, or maybe waste management facilities. Taking students on field trips can provide them with a hands-on activity experience to notice the human impact on it. And field trips can help students make connections between the environment and their own lives and inspire them to take action to protect the planet. Also, there are interesting idea to protect projects-based learning. You can design a suitable community, conduct a pollution study. You can create environmental companies, build a sustainable garden maybe, and other idea I wrote was guest speakers. It's also important to help students see the relevance of environmental issues in the wider world and inspire them to take actions. For example, environmental scientists or activists or policymakers, okay, and by inviting guest speakers, you can provide students with diverse perspectives on environmental issues. Overall, engaging students while teaching environmental topics request creativity, enthusiasm, and wildness to explore different teaching strategies. By incorporating these ideas, teachers can help students develop a deeper understanding, make them learn how to think more critical, yes. And I like about these ideas that all those can be made like eye-to-eye lessons or online lessons. For example, as I mentioned about field trips, yes, nature parks. So online we have multiple choices to visit all of some things from all over the world. Okay. So let's go on about that. Yes. Another activity. Another activity would be warm up. Yes. And the name of this warm-up activity is Save the Trees. Another important topic when we are talking about environmental issues. So this activity also is not, the duration is not so long. It's about 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, it depends on group, how large it is. And always you can do this learning by individuals or group to level them up, how to learn digital skills. And the learning outcomes of this warm-up is encourage participants to involve them in the discussion, evaluate our participants' knowledge about saving trees, analyze ideas released on the main topic, and so on. Yes, we have also example in Canva. You can put some trees and create some tutorial or about the trees, but main outcomes would be to name the participants, be able to name the ways how the trees can be saved, to be able to describe the phenomenon of saving trees. And from these activities, our students get to know each other a little bit better. So to do it, you need also internet connection, account in Canva, and students will have to have internet access, computers, the link on Canva, which you as a teacher send to them. And the idea is each learner has to choose the tree and write on their name to avoid some chaos in the lesson. And you explain the task. And the main task is to create a tree by writing on the leaves how we can save the trees. And for example, minimum 3 ideas. And each learner just writes some facts, some ideas how to save the trees. And to make the activity engaging, fun, and educational, you can use some bullet points. For example, to emphasize, that each of the participants may have different opinion, and that's not a bad thing. There's no wrong answers. There's only misunderstanding sometimes. And if the participant, the student who wrote some ideas is, for example, which idea is not so correct, or you can ask to explain it in not written form, in words. And after this activity, you can discuss with students about which idea is the most interesting, which is the most difficult to implement, and etc. And yes, it's our little example. You can, of course, you can make your own in very different platforms. And yeah, I would like you to ask the question, okay, how you think, how we can save the trees? And please try to write it. I'm putting the link in the chat. I would like to see, or maybe to hear your ideas how we can save the trees. Use reusable alternative to disposable products. Okay. Protect the environment. Okay, and about the warm-up activity, you also can make it eye-to-eye, face-to-face environment. For that, you just need some bullet points. For example, students might draw the trees and on white paper sheet, and by using markers or pencils, write their ideas. Yes, and this activity can be written by individual task, or it also can be made by taking students in a group. Use less paper. Yes, we have computers, we have onlines and so on. To stop the industry. Sorry about my pronunciation, okay? Educate the public about the use of reusable items. Yes, I agree with all these your written ideas. So would like to share one more video that explain about the importance of trees, of saving the trees, about the trees. And yeah, as I mentioned before, all these videos and photos can be used in learning process, like a topic to discuss about, or like some conclusion points after the discussion. You see the view?
Dear future generations, I think I speak for the rest of us when I say, sorry. Sorry we left you with our mess of a planet. Sorry that we were too caught up in our own doings to do something. Sorry we listened to people who made excuses to do nothing. I hope you forgive us. We just didn't realize how special the earth was. Like a marriage gone wrong, we didn't know what we had until it was gone. For example, I'm guessing you probably know it as the Amazon desert, right? Well, believe it or not, it was once called the Amazon rainforest, and there were billions of trees there, all of them gorgeous. And
I'm sorry, some of my colleagues said that my video isn't showing on her computer, so I try to share it one more time. Okay.
dear future generations, I think I speak for the rest of us when I say, sorry. Sorry we left you with our mess of a planet. Sorry that we were too caught up in our own doings to do something. Sorry we listened to people who made excuses to do nothing. I hope you forgive us. We just didn't realize how special the earth was. Like a marriage gone wrong, we didn't know what we had until it was gone. For example, I'm guessing you probably know it as the Amazon desert, right? Well, believe it or not, it was once called the Amazon rainforest, and there were billions of trees there, all of them gorgeous. And oh, You don't know much about trees, do you? Well, let me tell you, trees are amazing. I mean, we literally breathe the air they are creating. They clean up our pollution, our carbon. They store and purify water, give us medicine that cures our diseases, food that feeds us, which is why I'm so sorry to tell you that we burn them down. Cut them down with brutal machines, horrific, at a rate of 40 football fields every minute. That's 50% of all the trees in the world gone in the last 100 years. Why? For this. And that wouldn't make me so sad if it weren't so many pictures of leaves on it. You know, when I was a child, I read how the Native Americans had such consideration for the planet that they felt responsible for how they left the land for the next 7 generations. Which brings me great sorrow, because most of us today don't even care about tomorrow. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we put profit above people, greed above need, the rule of gold above the golden rule. I'm sorry we use nature as a credit card with no spending limit, overdrafting animals to extinction, stealing your chance to ever see their uniqueness or become friends with them. Sorry we poison the ocean so much that you can't even swim in them. But most of all, I'm sorry about our mindset, 'cause we had the nerve to call this destruction progress. Hey, Fox News, if you don't think climate change is a threat, I dare you to interview the thousands of homeless people in Bangladesh. See, while you were in your penthouse nestled, their homes were literally washed away beneath their feet due to rising sea levels. And Sarah Palin, you said that you love the smell of fossil fuels. Well, I urge you to talk to the kids of Beijing who are forced to wear pollution masks just to go to school. See, you can ignore this, but the thing about truth is, it can be denied, not avoided. So I'm sorry, future generations. I'm sorry that our footprint became a sinkhole and not a garden. I'm sorry that we paid so much attention to ISIS and very little to how fast the ice is melting in the Arctic. I'm sorry we doomed you, and I'm sorry we couldn't find another planet in time to move to. You know what? Cut the beat. I'm not sorry. This future, I do not accept it, because an error does not become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We can redirect this. How? Let me suggest that if a farmer sees a tree that is unhealthy, they don't look at the branches to diagnose it, they look at the root. So like that farmer, we must look at the root, and not to the branches of government, not to the politicians run by corporations. We are the root, we are the foundation. This generation, it is up to us to take care of this planet. It is our only home. We must globally warm our hearts and change the climate of our souls and realize that we are not apart from nature, we are a part of nature. And to betray nature is to betray us. To save nature is to save us. Because whatever you're fighting for, racism or poverty, feminism, gay rights, or any type of equality, it won't matter in the least. Because if we don't all work together to save the environment, we will be equally extinct. Sorry.
Hey guys, for the past several weeks, I've been here in Africa, the heart of Africa, witnessing the horrific destruction of the rainforest, which inspired me to write this piece. Why are forests being destroyed at such an enormous rate? For this. Today we live in a world where destroying trees makes you money. So what can we, normal people, do about it? One way to directly fight the destruction is to stand for trees. By standing for trees, not only can you save the lives of trees, help forest communities, and protect the rights of animals to live in their homes, but you will also balance the amount of pollution that you yourself give off with your everyday activities, making you a part of the solution and not the problem. This is the option that I chose. But whatever way that you choose to stand for trees, do it. Because a wise man once said, when the rivers are all dried up and the trees cut down, man will then realize that he will not be able to eat money.
you for watching. I think these videos are encouraging to do something to protect our planet, yes. And I'm going forward to my slides to talk about the environmental topics. And after all activities were prepared, there's always some tips for further reading and so on. It's about the saving the trees. Other topic, wrap up activity. It's about saving planet. Okay, we're just growing up and up, saving more and more. And wrap activity is about 5 to 10 minutes. Also, it depends on the size of the group and the level of students' digital skills. But learning objectives on this activity is encourage students to discuss, to evaluate the knowledges about saving planet, analyze ideas released by the main topic, and learn from the other students, from the other participants' opinions and ideas. And about that activity, talking, we are discussing with students about the ways how planet can be saved. About student can discuss about summarize presented material, work in a group and discuss on important matters. And also our example is on Canva, and the teacher prepares some templates where students can do activity. The task would be, for this example, to name at least 3 things that they as a student do in order to save planet. And after that, we all class discuss about the answers, about the ideas what students took. To make the activity engaging, fun, and more educational, we can use some bullet points. For example, teacher needs to emphasize and remember students that there are no wrong answers. And after the activity, also we can vote, for example, which idea is most interesting, is most difficult to implement. Yes. For this activity, you can make your own templates. You can use by some prepared templates like Canva and so on. And talking about saving the planet, we use some pictures, some videos from the internet, and it's interesting for me to know how you are thinking about that topic. Can you name at least 3 things that you are doing in order to save planet? You as a person, what are you doing to trying to save our planet? Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat. Okay, and starting to share your answers. Okay, can you name at least 3 things that you do in order to save our planet? Plant a tree, good idea. one people, one tree, and so we're gonna create a huge forest. Use second-hand clothes and furnitures, yes. It would be helpful. Say water daily, yes. Okay, I think everybody is thinking about that, but to write it's to put on the words is difficult. Sort the garbage. I don't use plastic bags. I teach my kids about demolition. Wonderful. Educate people without cars or use electric one. Use a green practice. Yes, these ideas are wonderful. So maybe we'll try to use some of that ideas in our daily life. And save our planet every day, little by little. And we're gonna live happily after. So in this exercise, in this activities also were created some reading tips for the further. As I mentioned before, you can use it as teacher to know more about that topic, or you can use it by giving to students that they make some presentations about the topic. And yes, one more video.
Our oceans sustain but now they are being killed by throwaway plastics. The equivalent of one garbage truck of plastic is dumped in the sea every minute. 17.6 billion pounds every year. Plastic is everywhere in our ocean, floating on the surface, mixing in the salt water, and sitting on the ocean bottom, miles and miles deep. And once in the ocean, it never goes away. Over hundreds of years, it breaks down into small pieces. But those pieces, even the tiny ones called microplastics, are still plastic. Sea turtles are choking on it. Scientists say that over 60% of whale and dolphin species are affected by it. Zooplankton, the base of the ocean food chain, eat it. And so do we. It's in the water we drink. It's in our food. Microplastics have been found in our salt, our honey, and our beer. And sometimes even in the air we breathe. Companies are choosing to make something that will be used just once, from a material that lasts forever. If you don't like what throwaway plastics are already doing to our world, brace yourself. We face a tsunami of throwaway plastic in our and the ocean's future. 4 times more plastic will be produced between now and the middle of the century than has been produced in all of history. 4 times more. What can we do? Recycling? Of all the plastic ever generated as of 2015, only 9% was recycled. Even when it is recycled, plastic degrades. Your plastic soda bottle maybe becomes a shampoo bottle, then a floor mat. Even in the best case, it doesn't recycle, it downcycles. And then it becomes pollution that ruins our beaches and chokes sea animals forever. We should not be forced to pollute the ocean every time we eat, drink, or go shopping. We need to be given a choice, a plastic-free choice. This is not hard to imagine. Indeed, some responsible companies are already leading the way. There are throwaway plastic-free aisles in supermarkets. Beverage companies already offer plastic-free soda and salsa water. Restaurants offer plastic-free service. There are plastic-free rooms in hotels. An airline is now offering a plastic-free flight. And Oceania and our allies are winning plastic-free victories. Following campaigning by Oceania, Peru passed a law that keeps plastic out of national parks and beaches. Belize is getting rid of styrofoam. And the European Union has mandated reductions for throwaway plastic throughout its 28 member countries. But with your help, we can do more. Together, we can create a movement to reduce throwaway plastic. We can make sure we're all given real plastic-free choices. We can help our cities, towns, schools, and workplaces establish zones that are free of throwaway plastic. Let's stop plastic pollution from wrecking our beaches and our oceans, and have healthy oceans that delight and sustain us for generations to come. Please join our campaign. Go to oceana.org/plastics today.
It's so wonderful. There are so many organizations that are creating all these things about saving the planet, about giving us a choice to live without plastic, to live more healthy, to have more green environment. So today from me, it's almost all, but I would like you to fill the form. To give us feedback, okay, about webinar by filling a short survey. So thank you for those who answering. Okay.
Renata, I'm not receiving the evaluation form. I
I'm
received it in the beginning when I entered in the webinar.
Okay.
And now I could not see it.
Okay, so I'll try to upload one more time. Do you see that? Okay. Now I have only 10
Now
answers.
I'm seeing poor results.
Poor results.
Very
So
good results.
what's wrong with that chart? Ended. It's written, it's ended. So if it's not difficult for you, please write something in the chat. It would be maybe more pleasure to read about, to have some feedback from you. And yes, I have to tell one more thing, that the next webinar we're gonna be on the 18th of May in 12 seats, and it will be conducted by our partner from Bulgaria, Mariana, from you, yes, and we're gonna talk about how to use artistic and creative activities. So photo the slides to remember the next webinar. And yes, thank you all for being here with me. I'm stopping the record.